Hey, what is up, guys? It's me, Sanosuke, and today I'm going to be reviewing Naruto Chapter 638. I was a little surprised that this chapter came out early, considering the fact that I was at work when it just went off on my phone, and I was like, oh shit, new chapter, and read through it, and it was decent. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like my favorite chapter of all time or anything. It was pretty much set up, I guess, really, to see, you know, for what's going to happen later on. But I'll very quickly go through what happened with the chapter. Basically, we have Obito absorb the Jubi and become its Jinchuriki. Now, last review, I mentioned how the heck was he able to do this because he didn't perform any hand seals or any special jutsu. It didn't look like it. Well, according to Naruto, actually he did. The hand sign that he was doing was not the hand sign for the Rene Tensei. It was the hand sign that was potentially necessary for him to become the Jinchuriki for the Jubi. Now, what the heck does that mean for Madara? Does that mean that Madara was already aware of the fact that Obito wasn't completely under his control, or what? Because you would think Madara would know or notice at least that he's not doing the hand sign for the Rene Tensei. You would think that Madara would know what the hand sign of the Rene Tensei is. So that kind of piqued my interest in that respect. Also, it looks like Naruto beforehand already knew something was up. He said, you know, I sensed the Bijuu's chakra going into Obito, and I noticed the hand sign thing. And I guess he just didn't want to share with everybody else. He just wanted to watch and find out what the hell was going on. Not like he probably could have stopped it anyway, but, well, yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And then pretty much once Obito absorbs the Jubi, he becomes like normal people sized again, and he's got like these spikes coming out of his back, and the right side of his body, which is like the wood grafted side of him, looks kind of like that skin that Kabuto had on him way back when he grafted half of Orochimaru's body onto himself. That freaking weird, I don't even want to go on a tangent about that, but yeah, he looks kind of, that side of his body looks kind of like that, kind of. Which was, he looks cool to an extent. So yeah, Obito is now the Jinchuriki or whatever. He's got like the symbols of the sage on his back. I don't know, they look kind of like the Sharingan tomes on his back. And he's kind of saged up, I guess. Now, B mentions that this is probably some sort of form that the Jinchuriki takes before reaching its final form. So I'm going to guess that Obito is going to transform again or have some sort of power up like Super Saiyan mode, some shit to represent the Jubi at full power. That's what I'm going to guess. Obviously, I don't know if that's right, but that's kind of my theory of Obito is going to get even stronger, which is crazy considering the fact that he breaks the heaven barrier wall thing that the four Kage set up, and everybody's all surprised, like, oh my god, how was he able to do this? It was made by the four Kage, Hokages, yada yada yada. Well, really, they shouldn't be that surprised because he's the host of the most powerful creature in the whole Naruto universe. But he breaks out of that shit like it's nothing. And then Hashirama attempts to use those gate things. I can't remember the actual name right now, but he uses the gates in an attempt to pin down Obito and prevent him from, you know, raping them all, because he says, oh, I can still stop him. And no, Obito breaks through that shit like it's nothing. And then all four Kages basically show up, and they're prepared to fight Obito. And when Hashirama appears, he just says flat out, he's stronger than me, so we're kind of screwed. And, you know, all the other Kages are pretty much like, shit, yeah, if he's stronger than Hashirama, then we're gonna have a problem. And it looks like before that, Minato tries to like talk to Obito. He says his name or whatever, and Obito repeats it like, oh, like, I don't think he's in full control. I think that at this point it's kind of like the Jubi may be in control of him, or he's kind of he's not in control of himself. He's not in his right mind. It doesn't look like. It looks like he kind of has like that dead expression on his face, really no real expression on his face. So I'm thinking that Obito has kind of lost himself right now, and maybe he'll regain his consciousness. I hope it's not, he doesn't regain it and then just be talk no jutsu'd. But, you know, from all the hints that we've seen in the past forever for this whole Toby thing, seems like he's going to be talk no jutsu'd. But there's still hope that maybe he won't, but we'll see. So Obito proceeds to freaking rape Hashirama and Tobirama. He basically like cuts through them. It looks like with his bare hands, like he just runs through them, and I guess he moved too fast for them to be able to react. and he like broke through parts of their body. Now, of course, since they're Edo Tenseis, they should regenerate. And it looks like Hashirama was a wood clone. Maybe he was a substitution jutsu, or maybe it's just the way that the image was drawn and Kishimoto depicted it. But it looked like it was more of a wood clone than the actual Hashirama, that it got split in half or half of his body blown off. Now that we've kind of reviewed or gone through the basic process of the chapter, I want to talk about two things. The first one is Madara's trump card. I'm really interested to see what that is. Madara has stated that he needs to or wants to use it before it's too late. I guess he's out of time or whatever it's going to be. Now, I'm wondering if he's going to somehow steal the Jubi from Obito, because it looks like, you know, Obito would still have the cells of Madara in him in a way, right? Because it looks like that thing that started showing up with the black Zetsu, which we know or we assume is built from Madara's DNA, while the white Zetsu is built from Hashirama's DNA. So it could be that maybe he has some way of transferring a mind transfer jutsu type of deal, or he's just going to steal the Jubi altogether and put it in himself and revive himself at the same time. But at the same time, Madara says that now that he is a sage of 6 paths, he might have seen through that jutsu. But if Obito's not conscious, because it doesn't look like Obito's consciously in there right now anyway, he hasn't given any clues that he is, then maybe Madara has a chance at using his trump card. Either way, it looks like there's going to be some sort of conflict between Madara and Obito. I really hope that Madara does not team up with the Kages and shit. That'd just be weird. That I just couldn't see that in my head. But it looks like there's going to be like kind of a battle royale sort of deal going on with them. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the trump card. I don't really have any other theories other than that. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is Obito's character right now. Last review I did, I pretty much said, for those of you guys who didn't know, I don't like Obito's character development. I really don't. And a lot of people were basically saying that, well, I like it or I agree with it, or not a lot of people, a couple of people were saying that they agree with Obito's character development because, you know, he lost Rin and all this other stuff. Now, one person, one of my good friends, basically said that he can relate to Obito to the extent of he's lost a lot of people in his life. And I thought that was an interesting point to bring up, because I can relate to that. However, at the same time, I feel like the way Obito was written, the way that Kishimoto has depicted Obito turning into the character he is now, is fucked up. Like, I myself am a writer as well, so I just don't think that his character development panned out the way that it could have. Now, personally, I think that the death of Rin could have acted as a trigger, yes. However, it should not be the thing that we see every time we see something with Obito and Kakashi, or Obito and Minato, or Obito when he's just talking and having flashbacks. That is my problem with Obito's character development right now, is we had such a great character. I mean, I loved him. I loved him when he was Tobi. I liked him when he was normal Obito, because he taught basically Kakashi everything that he's taught Naruto and then some. So I loved him up to that point. I liked when he was moderate, or quote-unquote moderate. We didn't know his whole master plan. We didn't know jack shit about him. Everybody was trying to figure out who he was. And then he turned out to be Obito, and I didn't like when he turned out to be Obito, I'm not gonna lie, because in my opinion, when Obito was crushed by a boulder, he should have been killed. But I've kind of got over that now. I just kind of crack jokes about it. But then it started to gravitate into, because you let Rin die. Now, later on, he says it's not because you let Rin die, Kakashi. You're being like selfish if you think that's what it is. However, every time we have something where he's about to die or some crazy shit with him, he thinks about Rin. So I understand that one person in his life died, right? But we don't even know what Rin's relationship to him was. Like, we know that he liked Rin, but Rin obviously friend-zoned his ass, and he couldn't get over it. Yeah, he's like, I guess they were about 13, between 13 and 15 age-wise, right? So you're telling me that because your one friend died because of the shinobi system, you're going to basically use her as a catalyst to become this like total asshole. Now, I think that if he had basically been driven by the shinobi system alone, or by the shinobi system to a greater extent than Rin, because even though he said that it's not because of Rin, it's because of the shinobi system, I feel like there should have been more conflict or more flashback or more internal monologue that would make that more believable. Because even though he said that, I don't believe it at all. And maybe that's Kishimoto's purpose in writing the character. However, I just feel like it could be done differently. I do like Obito's persona right now, even though, yeah, you're like, well, you just said he's possessed, so he's not in his right mind. You're right. However, I feel like he's going to get closer or back to how he was when he wore the mask. Not first Toby that's goofy and shit, but I'm talking about like serious, I'm aka Madara Toby. I feel like he's going to get back to being that Obito, which personally is my favorite form of Obito. But we'll see. I mean, I'm really interested in see you guys' thoughts on Obito's character development. Do you think that he could have been written better? Because I just feel like he could be written better. And the way he's written right now, there are just things that make me want to choke the shit out of him. Not like I can, because he's a damn anime character. He's a piece of paper. But I just think that he could have been written in a way that would have made him sound like less of a crybaby. And I get that he was taken as a kid and all this other stuff. But you got to think about it. Kakashi went through some crazy shit too. Kakashi went through some crazy shit. Naruto's been through some crazy shit. All these characters have been, not all, but a lot of these characters have been through some crazy shit. And at least with Sasuke, his reasons for being an emo crazy, like, I want to murder everyone for most of the series, was his brother killed his entire family. So, you know, to me that's more valid than Rin died. And I don't know. I just think that Obito's character development could have been done better. And like I said before, I'm kind of rambling on now. I really want to know what you guys think about Obito's character development. And I want to know why you guys like or dislike Obito. Right now, I'm on the fence. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to Otakon. And I'm actually going as War Toby cosplay. Because, like I said, I really freaking loved Toby before he was Obito. But yeah, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on all that. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Last of Us gameplay that's going on right now. I'm Sanosuke. Like this video, subscribe if you want more freaking reviews, gameplay, and all that other shit. And I'm out. Peace.
Watch it go. I'm wounded. Fire is home. He's down. Scratch one.
One less straggler to win that.
They're down on their last group.
Okay, got it.
Need to mess. Watch my says.
Okay, got it.
That's it. Bag him and tag him.
内葉マダラの手にかかることを光栄に思うがいい。
みんなの思いは胸にある。今の俺は強えぞ。
貴様との戦いなど俺にとってはただの遊びに過ぎん。混沌を見せてやる。
憎しみの連鎖